What's going on, everybody? This is David here, back with a brand new video. Just got done watching the Bengals-Chargers game. It was a thrilling game, one of the better games I think we've seen all year, and unfortunately didn't go the way we wanted it, but hey, it is what it is. Now, I'm making this video because after two consecutive losses, after losing to Baltimore 2 weeks ago by the score 41-10, and that heartbreaking loss to the Chiefs by that blocked field goal, and we could have beaten the Chiefs for the first time in Arrowhead since 2015 and had a 2-game win streak on them, the Broncos defeat the Atlanta Falcons by the score 38-6. And you know what? After that loss last week, this was a perfect way for them to rebound. The perfect way to get back, to get your head up and get back and just start winning is to come and play this kind of effort. And we didn't do it against a Dennis Allen-led Saints or a Carolina Panthers team, which was our last two victories. We did this against the Atlanta Falcons that are pretty good this year. They, I think, are at top of the NFC South, and we sweep the NFC South, and we sweep our first division since we beat the NFC North, since we swept the NFC North, back in our Super Bowl year. I mean, 6-5 is just something I'm loving right now. I love this victory, but let's talk about this game. I mean, Bo Nix played the best game of his young NFL career. 307 passing yards, 4 touchdowns to 0 interceptions. I mean, that right there is just phenomenal. It's really good. Then what did we have besides that? We had, Javonte Williams had, I think, 59 yards on the ground, but he only had like 9 carries. And like Audric Estime didn't have as much carries, and he had some pretty good yards, and he had 2 receptions, and he had 2 plays that went to back-to-back first downs. But the one first down got called back for a penalty, which I'm going to get to later. But Marvin Mims also played a big impact. He had 2 receptions for 49 yards and 1 touchdown, and he even played a big role in the return game, where he had 2 returns that resulted in some big yardage. And that second return that got him all the way past midfield was the drive that we had a punt because of, which resulted into the penalty, which is I'm going to get to in a bit. But it was a good performance by this Broncos team, getting us our 6th win of the season, and we surpassed our expected win total for this year. Now, we're all going to sit here and say Bo Nix deserves Rookie of the Year, but you know what? I'm not a homer, and I'll be honest, I still think that's going to be given to Jaden Daniels. As much as I'd love to say Bo Nix, we got to admit it, Jaden Daniels is going to be that guy that's going to get that award. If he continues to play the way he does, and Nix continues to play the way he does, the only way I think Nix is going to get it is if he continues to play the way he does and Daniels has a slump. But I just don't really see that happening. Now, our defense played a big factor. We got the 1 interception today. We had some pretty good sacks. Several, I don't remember how many sacks we had against Kirk Cousins. But Bijan Robinson, who love him, hook him, started to have some pretty good, put up some pretty solid yardage against us, but it was only, but then after that, he just didn't do much. So, and then the one play I know everyone's going to talk about is the catch by the controversial play of the game, the catch by Little Jordan Humphrey that he fumbled and then recovered. Now, because, at first I said, nah, I think this is going to be called back. It's going to not be called back, but it's going to be a incomplete pass because it didn't look like Humphrey maintained control of the ball. But they called it as he caught the ball, fumbled, and then recovered it and resulted in a first down. To be honest with you, I still think that they kind of let Denver have one there. It did not look like a completed catch, but I'll take it. And that's kind of one reason why I'm starting to as much as I like little Jordan Humphrey, hook him, I just think that even though he did have that long touchdown, he's starting to become a liability. And Devon, Vale or Valet, or so, I forget how you say his last name, he's becoming our clutch receiver, like our new Tim Patrick. The guy that's Mr. Reliable, which is something that I think we definitely are going to need because he has just really shown up, made some great catches in today's game. But the one thing I'm really going to look forward to is the rest of the season. Next week, we play the Raiders. They're one of the worst, if not the worst team in the NFL this year. But hey, it's a division game. They always play us tough. So we got to look at a possible win, a tough matchup next week. And then after that, we have a Monday night game against the Browns, which is another game we should win because the Browns are another one of the worst teams in the NFL. And we beat them last year at home. And then we'll have, we're going to have some pretty favorable matchups going towards the end of this year. And I really believe we could get our revenge against the Chargers and the Chiefs in the season finale. Now, the one penalty I'm going to talk about, which was the one that resulted in the Audric Estime first down that he made from his reception that got called back, was on Garrett Bowles for standing up for Bo Nix. For as much as I would appreciate that as a coach, you doing that, standing up for your quarterback, you don't do it the way he did it. And that resulted in a 15-yard penalty. And that really upset me. And that's what's questioning me about whether or not Garrett Bowles will return to Denver next year. Is if he continues to show, he's a great player, but he could be very reckless, get penalized for no reason a lot of the times, and sometimes just do stupid things that could hurt this team in the long run. So that right there is what really upset me about the penalty, and it makes me wonder whether Garrett Bowles will return next season or not. But until then, we got the Raiders coming up, and let's hope that we could sweep them for the first time since 2014. This is David here. I'm out. Peace.